Hey, everybody. I had the most interesting conversation with one of my coaching clients earlier tonight, and it really spurred something in me. And I wanted to talk to you about how do you date successfully when you're over 50? So, if you don't know me, my name is Michele Burghardt. I'm a dating coach for smart, successful women who are 50 and over who really are tired of the frustration or the fear that's keeping them stuck. And they really want to start dating with more intention so they can find love. So I was having this conversation with one of my clients who I adore, right? And um, the topic came up. She's dating a young man, a young man. She's dating a man, and he is, but they're exclusive, but they're not exclusive. So what that means is that um, they haven't had the talk. So none of her needs, wants, and desires have been met because she hasn't told them what they are. And but she's not dating anybody else, and neither is he, as far as she knows, right? So they're also not emotionally intimate. And what I mean by emotionally intimate is they don't have heartfelt conversations. Their conversations are pretty much on the surface, and they've dated for a while. So we talked about that, right? We talked about and maybe I'll do another video on that some other time. But we talked about that. How do you become emotionally intimate without sharing deep, dark, gory secrets about one another? We talked about that. Then it hit me that she really didn't know how to date. So I wanted to come on and do a video about this so that anyone who is watching this is going to understand. And it's more important to date like this when you're 50 and over because you don't have time to settle. In my opinion, this is all my opinion, right? And just based on the training. So you want to date, and I don't care if you date online. I don't care if you don't like to date online, but you would like to meet people in person. But your goal should be to date multiple people at the same time. Because and I'm going to use her name is Jane. We're just going to say Jane. So she is dating this man exclusively, but she's not getting anything, her needs met, right? So the whole point behind this is that you want to date multiple men because you want to see who makes an effort, who's consistent, who is showing up for you, who you're kind of waiting to see. And you're going to have a revolving door if you do this enough, right? Because you don't want to settle. You don't want, I mean, she's like, well, I don't know if I want to be alone again. Well, if you're dating multiple men, you're not alone. You've got, one, two, and three. Well, all of a sudden number two drops off, and maybe number three moves up to the number one position because he starts really showing up for you. And then a new guy comes in, right? And I'm not saying that you're sleeping with all these men. That's not the point. The point is, and I highly recommend that you don't do that because it's just not safe. But you want to date multiple men to give yourself time to really get to know them, right? To see who shows up for you and to see who you can show up for, because it is a two-way street. If you cannot be emotionally intimate with a man, then you're missing such a valuable part of any healthy relationship. If you can't talk about serious things because you're afraid of how he'll react, you're shutting off part of yourself to this person. And you don't want to do that, right? I mean, that's not a rich, juicy, fulfilling relationship. So you date multiple men, you let the ones self-select out, because there's going to be men who are just going to self-select out. And that's okay, because honestly, if you're dating two or three men at the same time, you don't really have time to worry about it. I mean, at this stage, a lot of times well, I'm hoping that you're busy with a rich, juicy life, right? So you don't have time to really worry about it, but you want to see who consistently is showing up for you. Who is allowing you to get to know them? Who are you feeling comfortable enough to share yourself with and how you feel about different things? And then, right, After you do this for a little while, if you notice that there's one man that he's in the one position for a really long time, well, then that's when you want to have a conversation and say, hey, you know what? I'm really digging you. I think it's time that maybe we consider being exclusive. What do you think? And this is what this means to me. This is what I'm looking for in an exclusive relationship. Bump, 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 bump. Is this something that works for you? Right? And if he says no, well, then you're like, okay, well, then I'll just keep moving on. But again, though, you're not so fully invested in this guy that you've built your world around him, because you have other people coming in and other people going out, right? So just keep that in mind, right? That you're what you're doing. Try that. Try spreading yourself out a little bit, really being open to new people and new experiences, and see how that works for you. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do click the subscribe button and the bell so that you are informed about new content. And thanks for sharing. Thanks for being here. Feel free to write a comment. I try to respond as much as I can, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.